Look at this sun. It's green, it's bright, and for over 20 years, it was supposed to represent a new dawn. BP told us they were going beyond petroleum. They promised to be the first oil giant to truly embrace a world without carbon. But as we stand here in 2026, the green sun is being eclipsed by the very thing they tried to escape. The oil is back, in a series of moves that have shocked the environmental world and confused the markets. BP is performing the most violent U-turn in corporate history. They are panic buying oil assets and scaling back their wind and solar dreams. This is the story of the big regret. This is how the most ambitious energy transition in history hit a wall of cold, hard reality. You see, BP's problem in 2026 isn't just about the climate. It's about survival in a world that didn't change as fast as their PowerPoint presentations. Today, I'm going to reveal the secret internal data that forced BP to abandon its green targets, the pressure from activist investors who demanded a return to drilling for dollars, and why the transition to a carbon-free future has become a financial minefield for the giants of the old world. This isn't just a business update. It's a masterclass in the cost of being early. If you think you can save the world and keep Wall Street happy at the same time, you need to see what's happening inside BP. To understand the crisis of 2026, we have to look at the profit gap. Between 2022 and 2025, BP invested billions into offshore wind and electric vehicle charging. But the returns were microscopic compared to the massive profits of their traditional oil and gas business. In a world of high interest rates and rising supply costs, green energy started to look like a charity project rather than a business. Shareholders didn't want to wait 30 years for a return on their money. They wanted dividends now. In 2026, BP has officially blinked. They have realized that you can't build a new house while the old one is the only thing paying the mortgage. They are returning to the oil fields, not because they want to, but because they have to. But let's talk about the reputation trap. By rebranding as Beyond Petroleum 2 decades ago, BP painted a target on its own back. In 2026, they are being attacked from all sides. Environmentalists call them traitors for returning to oil, while pragmatists call them incompetent for wasting billions on failed green experiments. They have lost the trust of both worlds. This identity crisis has made BP the weakest of the super majors. While Shell and Exxon doubled down on their core business, BP was caught in the middle, trying to be a tech company in a heavy industry world. In 2026, the middle is a very lonely and expensive place to be. Inside the headquarters in London, the new leadership under Auchincloss is in damage control mode. The mission is simple: pragmatism over poetry. In 2026, BP is cutting its ESG staff and refocusing on its high-margin projects in the Gulf of Mexico and the North Sea. They are trying to convince the world that they are still progressive, while their actions show they are desperate for cash flow. This internal friction is creating a vision vacuum. Employees who joined BP to save the planet are leaving in droves, while the old-school oil men are struggling to rebuild an organization that spent years telling them they were obsolete. Let's talk about the EV charging gamble. BP Pulse was supposed to be the gas station of the future. They bought thousands of chargers and signed deals across Europe and America. But in 2026, the EV market has hit a plateau. Charging networks are struggling with reliability, and the margins on electricity are nothing compared to the margins on premium gasoline. BP is finding out that owning the plug isn't nearly as profitable as owning the well. They are sitting on a massive infrastructure that requires constant maintenance and offers very little profit. It's another future bet that has failed to deliver in the present. Look at the geopolitical nightmare. Because BP tried to be the good guy of the oil world, they exited several key markets and sold off assets that are now worth a fortune in the energy-starved world of 2026. They traded energy security for climate virtue, and now they are paying the price. While their competitors are reaping the rewards of the global gas shortage, BP is scrambling to find new production just to stay competitive. They are a company that intentionally handicapped itself in a race that turned out to be a sprint, not a marathon. So, what is the end game for BP? In the business world of late 2026, rumors of a takeover are louder than ever. Some say BP has become a prime target for a merger with a larger American rival like Chevron or Exxon. They are too small to be a giant and too big to be a niche player. A takeover would be the ultimate end to the Beyond Petroleum experiment, a final admission that the old world wasn't ready to let go. They are a cautionary tale about the dangers of strategic virtue signaling when the economics don't align with the ethics. The lesson for every entrepreneur is that your timing is just as important as your vision. BP had the right vision for 2050, but they tried to live it in 2024. They forgot that in the energy business, you don't just compete against other companies. You compete against the laws of physics and the demands of 8 billion people who need to keep the lights on today. In 2026, the green sun is setting, and the only thing left is the oil underneath. Will BP ever find its way back to the light? Or is it destined to be absorbed by the very industry it tried to leave behind? The world of 2026 is a harsh place for companies with an identity crisis. You are either part of the old world or you are building the new one. You can't be both. One thing is certain. The BP of the future will look a lot more like the BP of the past. The green experiment is over, and the drills are back in the water. The era of utopian energy has met the reality of the global market. The era of survivalism has begun. What do you think? Was BP brave for trying to change, or just foolish for thinking they could? Let me know in the comments below. We're watching the giants so you can see the moves before they happen. Hit that subscribe button and stay ahead of the curve. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.